You know, folks, the internet has made it possible for everyone to be an expert on everything. Got an opinion? Share it with the world. The problem is sometimes those opinions are about entire groups of people. And sometimes those opinions are just plain wrong. And sometimes those opinions, well, they come back to bite you in the, let's just say, the karma department. In 2025, we saw a whole bunch of people learn this lesson the hard way. We're talking about those brave souls who thought it was a good idea to publicly mock Filipinos. Yeah, I know, right? Like, what were they thinking? This isn't about being overly sensitive, this is about respect. It's about understanding that words have power. And when you use those words to belittle an entire nation, you're gonna have to deal with the consequences. And trust me, these 5 journalists, they learned about consequences. Our first contestant on You Should Have Just Googled It is Mark Reynolds, a British travel journalist. You know the type. Khaki shorts, cargo vest, probably smells faintly of mosquito repellent. Mark here decided to grace a live audience with his vast wisdom on the Philippines. I say wisdom because, well, that's generous. Picture this. Mark's on stage, microphone in hand, regaling the crowd with tales of his exotic adventures. He gets to the Philippines, and that's when it all goes downhill. He starts talking about how it's just a bunch of beaches and chaotic cities, basically implying that the entire country is good for nothing but a tan and a headache. Now, I'm not Filipino, but even I know that's like saying the only thing worth seeing in Europe is the Eiffel Tower. The internet, being the internet, exploded faster than you can say balut. Look it up, it's delicious. Filipinos from Manila to Mindanao to, well, everywhere, took to social media to school Mark on the wonders of their country. They posted pictures of stunning rice terraces, majestic mountains, vibrant cities, and historical landmarks that would make even the most jaded traveler say, wow. The backlash was swift and brutal. Mark's social media feeds were flooded with angry comments, his publisher dropped him faster than a hot lumpia, and his reputation as a respected travel journalist, let's just say it went on a permanent vacation. Next up, we have Rachel Donovan, a senior correspondent for a major US news network. Now Rachel, she's used to being the one asking the tough questions, not the one being schooled on basic human decency. But that's exactly what happened when a catastrophic disaster struck the Philippines. Now, I'm not going to get into the specifics of the disaster because, frankly, it's not my place to exploit a tragedy for clicks. But let's just say it was bad, really bad. People lost their homes, their livelihoods, and in some cases their loved ones. It was a time for compassion, for understanding, for, dare I say it, empathy. But Rachel, well, she missed the memo. Instead of focusing on the resilience and strength of the Filipino people in the face of unimaginable loss, she decided to focus on their tears. She went on air and called Filipinos too emotional, implying that their grief was somehow excessive, over the top, even fake. I mean, seriously, Rachel? Have you ever met a Filipino auntie who's had one too many sips of lambanog at a family gathering? They invented the concept of extra. But that's beside the point. The point is, her comments were not only insensitive and disrespectful, but they also revealed a fundamental lack of understanding about Filipino culture. Filipinos are a passionate people. They laugh hard, they love hard, and yes, they grieve hard. It's part of what makes them so damn amazing. The reaction to Rachel's comments was immediate and furious. People called her out for her coldness, her lack of empathy, and her blatant disrespect. She was dragged on social media, her bosses were bombarded with complaints, and her career, well, let's just say it's currently on life support. Chapter 3. Our next guest is coming to us all the way from China. Give it up for Liam Chen, a journalist for Chinese state media. Now, Liam, he thought he was being clever. He saw an opportunity to score some points by taking a jab at the Philippines' military capabilities on live television. Now, I'm not a military expert, but I'm pretty sure the Philippines has been defending itself for centuries. But Liam, he decided to ignore history and go for the cheap shot. He mocked their equipment, their training, basically everything but their sandals. Well, Liam, it turns out you should have done your research, because shortly after his little on-air tirade, the Philippines held a massive military drill. And let me tell you, it was impressive. They had planes in the air, ships in the water, and soldiers on the ground who were so skilled, they could probably disarm you with a toothpick and a smile. The irony, of course, was not lost on anyone. The internet had a field day comparing Liam's dismissive comments to the reality of the Philippines' military prowess. Videos of the military exercises went viral, with Filipinos adding their own special brand of humor to the mix. Liam's segment, Yeah, that mysteriously disappeared from the internet faster than a bowl of adobo at a family reunion. And Liam? Well, let's just say he probably won't be invited to any Filipino Independence Day celebrations anytime soon. Chapter 4. Next up, we have David Carter, a British journalist who clearly missed the memo about the global economy. David, bless his heart, decided that the best way to make a name for himself was to attack Filipino workers. Now, I'm not sure if David's ever actually met a Filipino worker, but if he had, he'd know that they are some of the hardest working, most dedicated people on the planet. They're the nurses, the caregivers, the engineers, the teachers, the seafarers, the backbone of many industries around the world. But David, he wasn't interested in facts. He wanted to paint a picture of Filipino workers as unskilled and somehow inferior. He probably thought he was being provocative, edgy even. Well, David, you got your wish. You provoked the hell out of millions of people. The backlash was swift and merciless. Filipinos from all walks of life took to social media to share their stories, to highlight their contributions, and to remind the world that Filipino workers are not to be underestimated. But it wasn't just Filipinos who were outraged. People from all over the world joined in, condemning David's ignorance and prejudice. His employer was inundated with calls and emails demanding an apology, and his social media feeds became a virtual war zone. Let's just say David's career in journalism is currently on hold. Maybe he can get a job as a dishwasher. I hear they're always looking for hard workers. Chapter 5. Last but not least, we have Emma LeBlanc, a French food critic who clearly needs to update her palate. Now, I'm not saying French cuisine isn't good. I mean, I've had a croissant or two in my time, but to suggest that Filipino food is somehow inferior is just, well, ignorant. But Emma, she decided to go there. She went on record saying that Filipino food was bland, uninspired, and lacking in sophistication. I mean, I don't know what kind of adobo she's been eating, but it definitely wasn't made with love. Well, the Filipino food community, they did not take kindly to Emma's assessment. They responded the best way they knew how, with a culinary smackdown. Chefs from all over the Philippines, from Michelin star restaurants to humble street food stalls, took to social media to showcase the diversity, the complexity, and the sheer deliciousness of Filipino cuisine. There were pictures of crispy pata, glistening with savory sauce, steaming bowls of sinigang bursting with sour and spicy flavors, and colorful arrays of kakanin, each bite a sweet and sticky delight. And let's not forget the adobo. Oh, the adobo. It was everywhere, in all its glorious forms, a delicious middle finger to Emma's bland accusations. Emma, to her credit, did eventually apologize, admitting that she had been uninformed and culturally insensitive. But the damage was done. Her reputation as a food critic, let's just say it's about as appetizing as a week-old balut. And there you have it, folks. 5 reporters who thought they could mock Filipinos and get away with it. Spoiler alert, they didn't. See, these journalists, they made one crucial mistake. They underestimated the Filipino spirit. They forgot that Filipinos are proud, resilient, and passionate people who will defend their culture, their heritage, and their delicious food with everything they've got. So, the next time you're thinking about making a joke at the expense of the Philippines, remember this: Filipinos don't just fight back, they win, and trust me, you do not want to be on the wrong side of that fight.